Hey, so I want to talk about how to use Batch Img2Img to do ControlNet videos like this. Um, this is a technique to replace basically every frame with a ControlNet image to image. And there's lots of tutorials out there, but people specifically want to know how do I do this in RunDiffusion. So I thought I'd do a quick tutorial to kind of walk through that. Here you can see I have this video of a girl dancing, and then we transform it into a green luminous witch dancing. So you can see that there's not a lot of consistency. I mean, it's pretty good, right? But this actually took quite a bit of effort. And I see this technique as sort of an intermediary technique until the tools advance. Um, ControlNet's come out for Deforum, but it's not quite operational in the way that we want yet. So this is what people have been doing in the meantime. You can deflicker these images, get them a little cleaner. There's lots of different techniques. So I'm just going to be talking about the specifics and walking through this. So let's just get to it. What I have here is I use DaVinci Resolve. I'm not going to go too deep into that. It's a free video editing program, and you can Google what you need to do to learn with that. But I have taken the video that I got off of Pexels, which is this website right here. Good place to find videos to practice on, right? You just hit videos, and there's tons of stuff here. But I took that video into DaVinci Resolve and I split it into individual frames. So that's the first step. There is a script to do this called ControlNet M2M. It only works on local. So I tried modifying the code today, couldn't get it to work. Figured I'd just do this tutorial for now. If you're going to do this outside of RunDiffusion, just split this into frames and then upload the frames into RunDiffusion in a directory that you have here. In this case, I'm using Dance IMG. So we're going to go to the Image to Image tab, and we're going to go to Batch. So that anything you change in image to image, when you switch to Batch, it'll be there. So let's get this set up. You don't need to put any image in the top. What we're first going to do is keep the sampling method to something like DPM2M because Euler will be a little bit more variety, a little bit less predictable. We're going to go ControlNet here. Because of the nature of my video, there's a little bit of movement. It's not super precise. I think I would have chosen a better video for this earlier. So for now, just one of them we want is depth. Another suggestion would be like open pose or canny or head. You might be able to do multiple control nets with this and have better results than I did. So I'm just going to start with depth on default settings. And now we need to enter our prompt. So I'm going to change the model here. We'll go to Luna Diffusion. And for the prompt, gosh, what are we going to do? Let's do like anime witch purple robe. I don't know why this got this error. Oh, switching the model. That's weird. Purple robe. There, it loaded anyways. What else do we want? Cherry blossoms. 8K high quality. One girl. Masterpiece. Why not? Okay. So this is going to apply to every frame using the depth map. So if we switch over to batch, here we have these directories, and you need to specify the directories. So the base directory for everything in RunDiffusion when you have the creators club is mount/private. So you're going to use that, and you put dance image. Okay, so that's the input directory, right? These are all the frames. Output directory needs to be different. So I'm going to put mount private dance image/frames. Okay, I don't have a mask. Now this is where it gets a little tricky because this is a vertical video, right? Vertical video. We're going to need to get the resolution. When I was doing this one, I was getting very terrible quality faces. And you obviously, using our current tools in Automatic 1111, we can't do any video in painting. There's other things for that like Runway. So we're just going to run it at a higher resolution so that we can get a little bit better quality face. And this is something you'll find, it just depends on the training, the model you're using, etc. So we're going to pop this up quite a bit. The denoising strength, I'm actually going to lower this. So this is how much of the image comes through, right? So, and we're going to try this. I don't know how well it's going to work. We're going to let the denoising strength stay pretty close to the original video. And this is honestly one of the reasons why I'm not like super impressed with this technique. Maybe a bit higher. It's just like it doesn't change things that much. And this method doesn't have the ability to understand previous frames like Deforum does. So when we get that kind of tech from Deforum, it's just going to be so much better because you'll be able to have it understand what frames are around it and how they flow into each other and how to get consistency between frames. This has very little consistency between frames, so it's not the ideal technique. But anyways, we go enable. Okay, so we're just doing the depth technique here. We're going to start with, and see it all came over, right? So we're just going to start with 1, and I will use this frame so we can get an idea of how it looks. So save it there, drop it here, and generate. And you're going to want to do this just to get a good idea of potential errors that could come up. Maybe the resolution, there might be some problems with that. Maybe, the prompt's not good enough. Maybe I need to put blurry, pixelated, deformed in here. I always do that, deformed. So, and this is running on a medium setting, by the way. So here we can see resolution is okay. This is where you start to run into issues with the depth. You can see her head is part of her arm, but it actually came through okay here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to update this a little bit. And you can see those red borders will capture the entire thing. We're going to get a little less of her, just so we get better resolution on the face. And the denoising seemed all right, actually. And then down here, we're going to try to raise the resolution of the depth map a bit. And let's try that again. So, I kind of like, we didn't specify anything on the outfit. So she does kind of look like a convict here, but that's okay. Kind of like that it sort of filled in this aspect of the background. Ugh, see, there's the face issue, right? Like the face is just not high quality. So in order to fix that, we do need to raise this some more. Now we can get away with these kind of higher resolutions that we couldn't get away with in text to image because of the denoising strength. So just keep that in mind. And it may even be our seed. We want to keep a consistent seed here because we're going to need it for each image. And we want to get as much consistency in the images as we can. In order to do that, we're going to pick the same seed, which is, essentially just a random number. That's going to generate the image diffusion. So if we keep it at that same number each time, then the image diffusion will be more consistent between the frames, which is what we want. All right. This is a medium box. We got some control nets. We got high resolution. So, it's going to take a little while. I don't know about this one. It looks like it is squishing the frame, which is not what we want. So we do need to make sure that it's capturing the entire thing. So like this. It's not cropping it. So we'll try that one more time. 1928, right? We're getting very, very high resolution. Um, there's other things. I'm keeping it deliberately at low sampling steps, but maybe I can try cranking that up a little bit. You want to keep these at 1. You can do multi-ControlNet. Maybe we can even up this a little bit, right? Preview and annotator result. Okay, here it comes. A little bit better. So the scale to fit is not what we want. We want to do just resize. We're going to try that again, just resize here. You can do latent upscale as well, but I feel like that may cause some issues. Maybe we could do crop and resize actually, and then take this down. Face is a little higher quality, right? Yeah. It's funny, she got purple hair instead of a purple robe, but whatever. We don't have enough image denoising to change that, I think. So we're going to try one more time, see if we can get higher quality on the face by zooming in a little bit. It's chugging along. Whoa. Weird. Oh, so this is the image denoising causing an issue here. Just resize. Yeah, because you can see it's overlaid but not quite working right. Just resize. Okay, let's try latent upscale as well. And let's try to pop this up and say purple hoodie. Dancing anime witch. Glowing hands. All right, so we're going to try one more time here. Squished. Just lower that width way down. Very funny looking. Otherwise pretty good though. No glowing hands, but image denoising is not high enough for that. I like how it turned the top into cherry blossoms though. That's cool. All right, so we've got the correct resolution. And it looks not bad. I mean, the face could be better, but I like the background. So you know what? If we want the face a little bit better, right, we just like give it a little bit of that. And How's the rest of it look? Yeah, I mean, decent. Give it a little bit of exploration there. And the steps definitely seem to help, right? Maybe we can turn that down and turn up our config a little bit just so we can see if we can get some of that other magical stuff in there. Here's our processor, which you can see has rendered some of the background. So that's pretty nice. It's just not picking up anything in the foreground for some reason. So if we want to adjust that, maybe we can bring in the guidance, update this, and give it another go. Canvas height won't adjust anything because it is related specifically just to creating a blank canvas, so it doesn't do anything really. So you're trying to draw on it. Okay, I think we're getting pretty close to giving it a go here. So, okay, wow, that's just weird, right? Now here's where some of the high resolution artifacts are coming in, where we got this like woman in the top, which we do not want. It's interesting the background started to come through on the higher resolution. Oh, and we do have a little bit of the arm. So you know what? Maybe we can up this a little bit to 1080. Take that denoising strength down, sadly, and see if maybe we can just bring it down a little bit like this. Give it one more go. And this is just like the fine tuning, right? It's going to take a while to do this kind of stuff, figure out how you want to set it up. Just kind of the way it is to get these things figured out. But then once you have it, like I have these frames from previous. Oh my gosh, they're still a little weird. I think it's the config scale that's actually causing the deformity. We're getting some better variation. Let's try one more time. Might have to bring this down a little bit. You know, 3 legs is what it is. What do we got? Face not great, 3 legs. Not too happy with that. Yep, so we'll go a little bit up. Restore faces you don't really want to use. It tends to like really destroy things, so it's not generally recommended. I think we're just going to try to lower the denoising strength here to kind of get what we want, as that should help. It's unfortunate it'll get rid of like some of the wilder stuff that's enjoyable in this, but I think just lowering it just gives us a better chance of getting a more cohesive picture. The denoising strength, just bring it down a little bit, will help quite a bit. All right. Cool. Let's just check out the face. Yeah, you know what? This is decent. The feet look a little weird. Let's try a different seed. But other than that, you know, I think we're almost ready to go. It's something where I think the video you choose is just as important as the actions you take. So make sure you get a video that's very clear and consistent. Maybe doesn't have too much movement or has like slow movement. Here, okay, we kind of got it. There's definitely some weird artifacts in this. Let's mess around with this. You know, we're going to make the best we can out of this video that we got here because I've already pulled the frames for it. So we're going to give it a go. Try to see if we can get something great here. And this is also processing pretty fast right now, right? So that'll be decent for generating a video. Don't want to sit here forever. Cool. Okay. I say, I like that. Not liking this, that this didn't turn into a tree. Okay, we're going to go a little bit up here. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to take that to batch. So now if we look at this, we can see the denoising strength is at 0.53. Everything came over like we wanted. The control net is up. I'm going to probably just lower this, maybe mess around with it a little bit. All right. Resolution's good. So now we're pretty much ready to go. We've got our input and output directories, and we can just hit generate, and it will start doing the frames. And while this is going, oh boy, looks intimidating at first, comes down really quickly, and we can take a look in the frames as it comes along. There we go. We got our first one. So pretty cool. You know, I like that it's cherry blossoms everywhere. That's pretty neat. And that was just from changing our denoising strength, right? It will affect different parts of it. So I'm going to let this run, and we will come back and take a look at the video shortly. All right, so we've got our frames here. Looks like there's quite a bit of variety going on, but I'm interested to see how it all goes together. So what we want to do now is stitch the video together. There's a couple ways we can do this. One is we could use DaVinci Resolve and just put them all in there. I'm going to show you how to do it within this. If you go to Deforum and then hit the Output tab, and go Frames to Video, you're going to delete this image path here, and mount/private, and then your path, dance image/frames. So this, you need to read the notes here. It says enter relative to WebUI full absolute path, and make sure it ends with something like this. So if I go into dance image, you can see I've got dance dash, or here, right? We've got dance dash 0001.ping. So in order to put these together, we type dance, and then we have a number of frames. So what I'm going to do is so this percentage is going to replace the 0001. Percentage 0, 4, which is the number of digits, D dot ping. Now we can do it. So it's each digit determines a number in 0, 4, D. So 4 digits, number 4 there. If we had 9, like in this example, we would put 09. Now we go stitch. It still won't seem like it's doing anything. And it takes a little bit, but you get it. So now we have our video. So you can see it's a little glitchy. Again, I'm not a big fan of this technique, but with a little practice, you could adjust the parameters, get something better for as a source video, use different models. You know, the whole point around this is to get consistency as high as possible. Using deflicker is a great example. Deflicker in Resolve needs a paid version, but there is an extension to do deflicker. So there's a lot of things out there. I'm going to be watching this technique and seeing how it goes. ControlNet in Deforum, I think, is going to be the real way to do this. Right now it is not working, but you can see that all the pieces are here to get it started. So anyways, that's the technique, and hope you got something out of it, and happy batching.